really decide to, oh sorry, a Galaxy Racer decide to hit go with their movements to try and A, push high ground, or just B, actually fight into the Medusa. So we'll see how they go with that. Lund is going to be giving up this first blood though, just going the Orb of Venom instead of any sort of movement speed, which is always going to be an issue when you know, you're not the fastest hero out there. You're a little bit faster than the Ogre, of course, but once you get the Ignite off and a single right click with the Orb of Venom, you're very squishy.
Yeah, nice little arrow coming through from Destrice, and that's a big first blood to claim. Let's see if they can keep the lane steady here for Young PH. The ET is a laning support. You've even got the Lycan Wolves as well to be able to get an extra little bit of damage and really make it difficult for Galaxy Racer to pressure the Medusa. And you see they're just going to try and do whatever they can to really diminish what the farm Young PH can get. Destrice just going to drag the Kree wave back. If he goes all the way behind the tower or not, looks like he's just going to hold it here by the tier 1.
Hopefully these creeps don't get a mind of their own and just start whacking the courier. Sometimes neutral creeps do that, and it's so frustrating. You're like, but why? You're not supposed to be on either team's side right now. Good amount of harass going to be able to come out here from Lund though. He's got plus 38 damage, so he's going to be just denying up a storm if he can.
Even that extra CS and experience you can get from the Wolves is pretty nice as well. Something that, you know, of course the enemy team's not going to have that opportunity. You always got to keep that in mind of its experience where you wouldn't naturally be getting, so it can make the timings just a little bit faster with the levels wise in particular. But you know, this mid lane, AlaCrity is super comfortable on the Ember, but he's not in a matchup that is too heavily favored in his side. You know, we'll see how the rotations come through potentially if Mirana puts a lot of
shocked by Lund right now. Just shows the impact. Look, he's diving the tower. Why not?
That's just
that's a bit keen. Ooh, not gonna cost him. Just gets the echo stun. Nicely done by Lund, just to be able to harass him out that much. And they've got a little bit of a do I want to, do I not want to going on with this hard camp here next to the Medusa, because Destrice wants it alive so that he can arrow the hard camp, but he also wants it to not be there so that the Elder Titan isn't getting a crap ton of free damage.
Yep. Yeah, we'll take a look at top lane as Zawrain once again on the Underlord. Very impressed with his game 1 performance, and Ghost is going to be on the Arc Warden, so we'll see how much farm he's able to find, in particular on the very, very late game orientated hero, if he can get in that involvement. But once again, Destrice with the rotation super early on. Skill A is going to go for a TPR, same with Zawrain as well. Unfortunately, the OD already went back to the tier 1 tower, so it's going to cost the Underlord his life.
Yeah. Now that kYxY, he's level 3, so he's got those wolves that are able to sustain a little bit more of the harass coming out from Lund. He's obviously got the 1 point of the Feral Impulse. Destrice is able to make these kind of rotations, make those kills happen. You can see he's forced to go some alternate ways of being able to get those hard creeps. You know, he just picks up that one in the Radiant Jungle. He also got the other Wild Wing Ripper to the left of the Radiant Shrine, Outpost rather. Oh. Well, good exchange there, coming out for AlaCrity, getting the experience ahead of him, and how much he's half a level ahead of the Batrider now, so that's going to be really handy.
And in a lane that I'd say is not really going to go too much in your favor, that's really nice, the fact that you get the kill first over the Batrider there.
You can see with AlaCrity as well, like I mentioned before with the Mirana, you always want to have at least the 1 point into the Searing Chains just to enable that potential for the Mirana rotation to come through. Oh, Courier? No, 343. Oh, no. Oh, it just lives. 2 HP.
Zawrain might be in trouble here. 343 is going to wait to be able to set up. I'm going to try and chase him down, and yeah, he might be able to get an extra kill. Yeah, that's going to be... Oh, that time he'll one-hit it. Yeah. At least Ghost gets the kill. He's like, alright, you get my courier, I get the kill. You know, who's laughing now?
I don't know, it was his gloves of haste, pretty important.
That is, yeah, it is true.
And it was 3 heroes being distracted all that time.
At the moment, I mean, the Medusa is getting a lot of farm down in the safe lane. The kind of Lycan as a laner, you don't lose lanes, but you don't really win lanes as well, it feels like, as a hero. He's got 20 last hits, but Medusa's having a very, very free time, and we'll see maybe if Dai can, with the four of the other heroes.
They're gonna go for a kill onto Hor. There we go. There's the Searing Chains that I was talking about, but yeah, just being level 1, it's a lack of
very deep dive.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there was nowhere for him to run at that point, so he was just trying to, considering it was nighttime, get into the fog and try and save himself that way.
I mean, now AlaCrity's got level 6, so this is going to get even easier for him to lane. A lot of time, the Batrider, you've got to do very well throughout the early levels here before he's able to get that escapability factor. And now that he has it, I mean, he's even going to be able to snag a courier, so this is a great start for AlaCrity.
Trying to make a bit of a kill happen here onto Zawrain, but AlaCrity's actually trying to just steal his creeps, straight up.
Take whatever farm you can get away from the enemy team.
This is my house. Oh,
they even find the Batrider once again. If they can kill him, he just TP back into the lane here.
No.
See if he's got the movement speed coming through for the Firefly. I don't know if it's going to be enough with the drag back. Oh, the urn, is it going to tick him out? The bottle,
the last
it's
one.
Enough.
Last
and he just gets in range for the urn as well. That's massive AlaCrity.
Nice.
Uh-oh, this is not how you would anticipate this Batrider to end up faring here.
Absolutely not, and that's always the risk that you take when you know, freeing up one of these comfort heroes, like we said before. AlaCrity, Ember Spirit, number 2 on his most played, at least in the competitive scene. So he really is able to make things happen that a lot of other cores are not.
He's got a bounty still up on his high ground. Oh, he's gonna go back to base instead. Unfortunate. He can use that for another time there, but this has been a great start for Dire, and it's going to enable them to just start running the Medusa at a pretty good timing here. You see kYxY already with the Necro forces the Medusa back to the back to base here. So they might have to put the Underlord down bot pretty early, but even Underlord's had a bit of a rougher stage. And it's not like last game where we saw Underlord solo in the Axe lane where he was able to get a lot of gold, and that early hood and the early levels enabled him to really be this bodyguard on towers. He's still going to come down, so I'll see if he can do the job to protect the tier 1 tower.
Yeah. kYxY, he's got his Necro book, so you mentioned, you know, not really winning lanes, but not losing them. The fact that he didn't just straight up have a horrible time in lane, despite being 1v2 the entire time, is just goes to show how prominent he is in at least the laning stage. I think, you know, mid to late game in that game number 1, there were a couple of times where he get caught out that, you know, perhaps his age was showing a little bit, being a little bit slow to press that Ghost Scepter to avoid being blown up by the PA, but he's definitely got his chops still. Gets lucky with the rune as well.
Where did Ember go to, actually? Oh, he went up to the try. Should still have... he actually doesn't have any remnants, but it's not going to matter, though.
Yeah. Just cuts the wave, why not? Eats some... call that Brazilian barbecue? Churrascaria or something like that?
Oh, I've got no idea.
Yeah, that's true. You're a Zoomer. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. Zoomer knowledge over here. Well, Warden's already got the Midas, so this has been a very, very good start for Ghost. Top of the net worth. He was struggling early on with last hits, but with the rotations that we saw from the Mirana really enabled at least the start from the Warden to kind of come back and now take the net worth lead.
Destrice has been on point with his arrows as well. He just connected another one onto Hor, just keeping the pressure up on him, and it's more than a level advantage right now that AlaCrity has as a result of this constant pressure. He's been missing some last hits though, underneath here. He just basically missed that entire creep wave except for the rage creep. Alright, so looks like his Ghost is TP'd down here on the bottom side. Shapeshift gets popped. He missed the keen optic there, unfortunate, but Zawrain might be in a little bit of trouble considering he doesn't have the Dark Rift level up, but just gets away in time.
Right, well,
it should still be a tower.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. Now you get an early tower here, which is going to force the Underlord to play a lot more differently. Like, you were probably hoping the Underlord would have got a couple extra minutes down bot of gold and experience worth, but now this is going to give a nice safe spot for Ghost. And now they also even have an opportunity if they want to try and defend top. I mean, they're not set up at the moment. They can do so, or even just wrap mid and maybe get an Observe Ward down preemptively before they think about taking a fight.
I don't think it's needed. I think it would just be suicidal to try for it. Luckily for them, 343 scouts out the keen optic that was dropped by the Wolves when kYxY just made that rotation, so it would have been horrible to miss out on that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Just a couple of bounties going either way, so for Dota standards, a very chill, relaxed game. Only 7 kills in 10 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, at least if you're a Galaxy Racer fan, you know, their action has enabled them to have a very good start so far. 3,000 net worth lead. We see a lot of stacks throughout the jungle so far. But once again, the arrow on point from Destrice is going to be able to catch out Skill Lane in the mid lane, and with the Astral already being used there, he won't have this defensive factor. They might try and punish 3-4-3 underneath the tier 1 tower here. Zawrain just not going to be able to lay down the Firestorm, however.
I was just about to say that Skill A was having a really good start to his game. Nearly has the Meteor Hammer completed. He was probably going to have it by about the 12-minute mark. Might be pushed out by another 30 seconds to a minute now, but it's still a decent enough timing. See, there's Ogre tried to body block the arrow just to keep the siege creep alive. They just want to put the pressure on to Galaxy Racer, especially while, you know, you've only got level 2 Necro Book. Level 3, it becomes a lot scarier to make any sort of defenses happen on Yangon's side.
You see the
stacks though. Young PH, he's picking it up with that Mask of Bandits as well. He's just able to sustain so easily.
And once again, I mean, now you've got the Underlord, you know, situating around the mid wave here. So we saw last game, Yangon did a very good job of protecting the tier 1 tower, which enabled their Phantom Assassin to be able to catch up on the farm that she was lacking on previously. And even though the Medusa's, you know, neck and neck in the top of the net worth, still is going to need a lot more time to come online, and really wants to be situated around the triangle camp. So Radiant, similar to last game, have to do a very good job of being able to bodyguard kind of the river and make sure they can't infiltrate through the try.
So he's building into the Maelstrom, very normal for the Arc Warden here with Ghost. I wonder, just because you're with a Lycan on your side, that you do want to go into, let's say, a Gleipnir on this. You know, Arc Warden is constantly using a lot of spells, so the extra int is always going to be nice. And just to allow the Lycan to actually be a right-clicking threat as opposed to just a tower-taking threat could be big.
Maybe once again, Galaxy Racer, they're pushing the tempo a little bit too much around the tier 1 mid. They're going to try and go for the Dark Rift away, but the ET eats the arrow, and he takes way too much damage. Skill A as well almost falls, but looks like Galaxy Racer this time going to be able to crack the tier 1 with the help of all of their heroes showing up here for battle.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it's just a night and day differential. Man, even going a Maelstrom on this Ember Spirit as well. So any sort of team fights, if they're ever trying to clump up, it's always going to be kind of risky. But I don't know how I feel about that. Against a Medusa, it feels like you just need more hard damage as opposed to, you know, little bits of magic damage here and there. Even just the lockdown to allow your Arc Warden to do his thing. Could just be, again, one of those comfort things. Like, if AlaCrity works best with a Maelstrom Ember Spirit, I'm not going to tell him he's wrong.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like this game, maybe the Maelstrom's just going to enable his farm a little bit of damage early, and then you go for the space-making items, right? Like BKB, Ags, just jumping on the back and protecting the Arc Warden, and just making sure that if you're the one that's up in their face, then it's going to enable Ghost to just do all the damage. 3-4-3, however. He's in trouble. Nice flame break here. Boys, puts him in a corner, and it won't be able to do much there.
The thing that's a little unfortunate for Galaxy Racer is they really don't have too many ways of disrupting things like, you know, the Batrider being able to stun him up and quickly burst him down to stop the Meteor Hammer combinations coming from Skill A. It's just this arrow and the Fire Blast, really. And you're not going to want to get that close. Horse going down, not sticking with his team, and he's going to pay the price for it. They weren't even able to get the tier 1 tower because of that, where he was positioned.
Uh-oh, now young PH is in trouble here. The Necro is just going to slowly help with burning the Mena. It's going to have to run up to the northern side. Arrow once again from Destrice is on the mark of the Spirit Breath. Spirit's going to try and fly, create some space, but it's not enough. AlaCrity once again with the backline finds Chainsaw to 2. He might hit the Meteor. He's going to be careful. Looks like 3-4-3 is going to move forward, but now with the backline cut through. kYxY's got the shapeshift. Skill A is going to attempt the TP, but it will not be there in time as it's 4 down in the mid lane. It's a 3 triple for kYxY, and just AlaCrity they don't have the control to deal with the Ember. He had way too strong of an early game, way too strong of a laning stage, I should say. Now it's enabling his early game. We see Destrice's arrows as well. Has he missed an arrow?
I think one. They made that attempt on the Batrider in the mid lane. He still ended up going down. You know, the one where he's like, why is he running deeper into the dire side of the map? But
yep.
you know, it led to a kill, so it counts. But yeah, like but both teams kind of suffering for this lack of stun, right? You've got the Pit of Malice, sure, but it's only level 2 right now, and other than that, the only other way you really have to lock someone down is the Echo Stomp, because you don't want to be using your Astral Imprisonment to try and catch out something like an Ember Spirit. You know, he's just easily going to be able to get straight back out of it.
They've had this blink for a couple of minutes here from the Batrider, but haven't been able to find the initiation. Gonna jump forward, but the lasso and the creep, not the blink target you want to see, the least from the Batrider. At least they get the tower and the kill on 343, but he might lose his life though. Nice Astral skill, eh? Dodges the chains arrow combo that we've been seeing so often here in the second game.
That's a nice early Spirit Vessel as well from Destrice, especially with how good this early game's been going. You know, he doesn't even need to do all that much in team fights, despite the fact that, well, he has been. He's just able to run around, use a Spirit Vessel every now and then, hit his arrows, and if the time is right, jump in with that Starstorm, which you probably will right now.
He's got a DD.
Oh, the sleep though, and the Meteor Hammer.
Dropping everything right now. Isn't enough, however. They're going to try and get the Dark Rift away. They're not all grouped and actually find the kill before he gets out. And AlaCrity, with the help of the DD, finds a double there. Once again, they are doing a very good job of playing around their Observer Ward. Radiant were aware that they were making a pretty aggressive move through because they have their own ward throughout that bottom jungle, but thought they could have the numbers for the fight. It was not the case. And now they're walking in Roche because silently, Ghost has been getting incredibly farmed. And now that, with the help of kYxY Shapeshift, should be the first Roshan of the game.
Yeah, and he is opting to go that Gleipnir, just wanting a bit more lockdown. Doesn't necessarily have to be stunned, but you know, it's something that's so versatile that you can use it for pushing as well. That 200 damage when you use it on a full creep wave just lets you push it in that much quicker.
It's even just like another way for the arrow. You know, if Batrider jumps forward, then you've got the Gleipnir to stop the lasso drag.
The Grove bow as
Grove.
well.
You see, instantly gets it.
Insane for Arc Warden.
What more could you want?
Well, Medusa gets it as well, so, you know, Gaben was merciful this time.
Usually he's not too merciful, so I guess things maybe looking bright here for Yangon, which an incredible game 1 comeback from them, but what's already looking to be getting out of hand in this second game. It's a 4 to 15 kill count with a 9,000 net worth lead already 18 minutes in. It's looking rough.
It's looking real rough. And the thing is as well, with the way that they've built this with the Lycan, it means that Warden can just continue farming like this, and then if he does want to join, he can just boots of travel in onto one of the wolves. He doesn't even need to worry about a creep wave.
Well, Zawrain's just slowly getting chunked, and looks like they're actually going to be merciful themselves and let him walk up the high ground. They didn't have any vision there on Dire, so not going to push it too far to the limit and sacrifice himself to the gods. But it looks like young PH as well. Alright, so Deuce has got the Manta now completed, but still is, you know, the farm for the Arc Warden is really coming through. We see that young PH, like Dire, been doing a very good job playing on Radiant side of the map, so it feels like Medusa isn't free farming almost, but Arc Warden has had no contestation at all.
And he's been really good at placing down these spark rays as well at all of the choke points. He wants to make sure that, look, if they're trying to make any kind of smoke gank, I've got at least 45 seconds of duration on these rays that I know I'm going to be protected. I know I'm going to be able to, you know, play around that.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Looks like kYxY popping that shapeshift, trying to find the Underlord down bot, but they should be able to get a tier 2 tower to their name. So just more map control
before the
going in the favor of Dire. Yeah, that's big here. Making them work for it. They should still be able to get it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Dire's top tower is
Doing his best on the top laner's skill, just trying to keep it pushed in, but he hasn't been able to use the Meteor Hammer onto the tower just yet. With the Astral Imprisonment not doing AoE damage anymore, you really do need the hammer just to be able to push out waves on their own. He's going to try and get a 2-for-1 special here though. Creep wave and tower. No.
Dire's top tower is under
Fortunate. Oh, can you see Radiant hitting any sort of timing in the next maybe 5 minutes or so where they can contest Galaxy Racer, or are Dire just going to have the advantage in the next couple of fights?
I'm struggling to think about it, I'll be real. Like, in the next little bit of time, no. It's going to be at least, I'd say 8 minutes before they're able to do anything.
And that's an issue, because as his game continues to get to the later stages, Arc Warden is going to get... The probability for an Arc Warden at the late game continues to skyrocket. It's always going to be worrisome. At least young PH, I mean, he's 2,700 gold in the bank. Maybe the Manta and the Butterfly is enough. But that's it though. That's all you have, and I feel like you need this BKB on the Batrider, so you're not getting locked down straight away. They've got no ways to get through your BKB, so you've got that little bit of luxury when you do get it up. And same sort of thing with the OD. I feel like he needs his Ag Scepter. He needs that secondary. Like you can't just be an Astral Meteor Sanity's Eclipse combination. You need much more versatility.
Dire's top tower is
kYxY's even scared about just even being in experience range of this creep wave because of how aggressive Galaxy Racer has been just playing on their side of the map. PH is picking it out saying, hey, give me the farm. But kYxY's like, level 10, that's all I want.
I just need something here. The life of a support. The life of a support. It's a rough one.
Smoke's coming up though. They're making the rotation. Wonder if kYxY is going to try and sneak past the secret shop, maybe buy the point booster, or if he's not sure if he wants the 4 staff, might go into the Staff of Wizardry first. It's not going to be popped just yet, is that Spark Wraith. Korea, I see the Firefly to the left.
Okay. Well, that's the first smoke movement that we've really seen from Radiant, from Yangon, where they've really tried to find the Arc Warden. But look at Ghost's positioning. His Spidey sense of tingling. He's like, all right, you know, they're doing something. kYxY, however, this is a very deep attempt to cut the wave, and looks like with the Gleipnir, it's gonna hold him. Maybe kYxY is just gonna pop the ultimate. kYxY tries with the TP, but unfortunately, it's not gonna work out in their favor. So Radiant do get some vision down by the triangle.
Ooh.
We'll see how long this is gonna last for.
Gonna get, though? Look, it's launching all the way across the map.
Ooh.
It doesn't connect onto much though. Nah.
Radiant's
barely anything.
Has been killed.
Arc wouldn't have just taken all the camps, basically. It's looking rough. Like you mentioned, they've been playing on the Radiant side of the map so much that there's just no places for Yangon to farm right now. They're trying to do their best, as we've seen with kYxY, just parking himself above the in the tree line on the top side of the map. You know, occasionally getting a Meteor Hammer off, keeping the wave pushed out that way. But it's this sort of thing where, you know, you see why heroes like Puck are really good, because they could just, you know, push the waves and have team fight effectiveness.
Yeah, and when they're in a scenario like this, at least you can still get something. Like, it just feels like the net worth disparison is very outweighed right now because of the Medusa. Yep. Like, this is getting into a stage where it's 4 protect 1, and it's gonna get rough.
Yeah, he is donezo. You've got the Fire Blast ready to set up. Don't even need that Gleipnir, but Ghost was just like, you know what, I'll take it.
Just burn 200 mana of yours. I guess it's a Tempest double, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah, just that 220 damage really just wipes out about half the HP of most creep waves, and then it's only a couple of right clicks, you get a few of those Maelstrom procs, you're totally fine with it. And like you mentioned before, it's a Tempest double, so you don't care about just bleeding mana every single time you use it.
ET might be in a good spot if he pops this, because the rest of the team need to TP out pretty fast. Young PH. Uh-oh. Well, Zawrain showing. Yeah, it looks like they just want to cut and dip out, but AlaCrity not going to have a way to stop that.
On the high ground.
Lun, however, still hasn't TP'd. AlaCrity's hunting, and I mean, he's already got the Aghanims completed. Didn't go for the BKB after Maelstrom. Gonna get a TP? No. 3-4-3. Just in the nick of time will cancel that. But Radiant, they have at least got out of dodge out of the bottom lane, so we're going to see instantly them trying to shove top and mid in. It might at least allow Galaxy Racer now, with how Radiant been positioned the past couple of minutes, it should be obvious for 3-4-3 that this bottom side's Warden. You already see one obs is going to get de-warded. There's still 2 in the vicinity though.
He's nearly got that energy booster. Going to be really effective again as we progress into the team fight stages here.
Jump in. Zawrain, unfortunately, this time he won't have the ultimate. And look at him just get melted. This Destrice's Mirana, he had so much net worth in that game 1. Now this game 2 as well. 7, 0, and 9. You highlighted Mirana loves to play it, and man, he's playing it incredibly well.
One of the great things about this Lycan as well is that even if, just like then, they use the glyph to be able to try and keep the wave pushed out with the backdoor, you could just use your wolves and your necrobook units to tank it up so that you're not really worried that much about backdoor. Paul's trying to do his best to push in this top wave. He's still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB though, and it doesn't help that he's missing these last hits onto the siege creeps.
Young PH.
That's another arrow.
At least this time, again, we saw with the Oracle last game, you've got a defensive factor with the OD. So if someone gets arrowed in a position like this, it is going to be very difficult for Dire to go high ground though. You've got the Medusa to front line, ET so difficult running up high ground with the Echo Stomp, the Underlord as well with the Firestorm, Batrider, they don't have a way to stop the lasso. So Yangon, maybe if they can hold this until the Medusa gets one more item, then high ground defense is going to get incredibly easy. Dire right now, with the next Roshan, might be able to run them over the high ground.
I wonder at what point Galaxy Racer are just going to be like, you know what, screw it. Let's just get rid of the Underlord, because it feels like it's the bane of their existence every single time. Maybe not worth a first phase ban, but definitely second phase.
Well, it feels like Underlord when you've got this position 1 carry that needs to kind of find farm and get to the late game. He's so good at stalling out. Like you go these aura items, you mitigate a lot of the damage. So you've already got this big. You got a position 1 who's super strong in the late game, and you're already kind of enabling that with your atrophy aura, and you're also enabling how much farm you can get because you just draw the attention of the enemy team. You protect the objectives and really at least enable your hero to get some space. And they've already struggled walking up high ground, and it was kind of the same last game, at least against the Underlord, with taking objectives. So
I've just realized something. I have missed out the most important factor of this game.
Oh no, what is it?
Look at the score, baby. Yeah.
We should have brought it up earlier. How silly of us. One thing, you see a funny scorecard like that.
Yeah, it's GameStop share price today for sure.
Talk of the town it is.
Radiant's top tower.
Man, that's a nice item. Quickening Charm for Arc Warden. Already got some cooldown reduction. Man, how farmed is he? 10-second BKB from Ghost. He's already almost got the Hurricane Pike, just needs the recipe. And well, Roche is up and inside they go. They force Radiant back with Pop getting shoved in, and they should be pretty free for them to claim.
Even like Radiant, this Hurricane Pike is going to be so huge. He actually went the Spark Raise damage. Okay, I'm a little surprised by that for Ghost.
Yeah,
like I know you've already got the well, he had the bow. Now he's gone for the Quickening Charm. Makes sense, just to be able to use the Tempest Double as quickly as possible, but I feel like it's definitely worth just changing that in the middle of a team fight, just to be able to turn it around. Again, the way to beat Medusa is just range. Outrange the Medusa. And if you have the Hurricane Pike and the Grove Bow and your talent, you've got the capabilities to do that.
Yeah, and I'm worried that eventually if this game continues on, like yes, the Arc Warden is in a formidable late game carry, but I'm just worried that they might struggle with walking up high ground, and I thought kind of the only way you can really do that is to outrange with the Arc, but you haven't. Unfortunately, Batrider's got to commit a 10-second BKB to TP out for safety there. But yeah, I really thought if they were going to struggle going up high ground, to answer it would be the Arc Warden range. So we'll see if that's maybe that could cost them as the game goes on. They still have a tremendous net worth lead.
Oh, for sure. I like what Skilla and Young PH were trying there. They were just standing in these this side area. He's going to need to be a little careful now that it has been revealed. But they were trying to catch out the real Arc Warden when he was trying to farm this bottom side of the map. It was only the Tempest Double, so they didn't end up getting too much of anything. And the score is about to be ruined as they get AlaCrity in this. Actually, it's only the Aegis. Good for at least the next little
kYxY as well. Stone gazed off. Young PH going to be careful. Protecting with the Lotus Orb. AlaCrity trying to man fire, but the arrow's going to be on the marker. Now look at the damage. They're going to try and move it away, but it's a little bit too late. Unfortunately, Ash, which is the next time. Medusa, can you get away? No, they find the Underworld down. Medusa pops out of the Ash, so they'll pay the price. 3 down. down from Yangon. Batrider's gonna pop the BKB and think about walking back forward there. Gets a kill on the Mirana, but you're outside the base, and well, now kYxY with mid pushing in might be able to crack the high ground here.
Oh, more than might. You've got the Underlord dead, you've got the Medusa dead. You're not worried about anything anymore. And, well, lucky for Radiant, they've just got the glyph available. It was literally 5 minutes to the second. But they don't really care all that much when they've got the magnetic field, though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just keep that push going.
Man, this Tempest double, at least it's going to tick out here, and with the OD and the Underlord coming back up, I'll try and get the tier 3. That's very big for them to find. Just even the extra tower protection they can get with the aura effectiveness, but they got to be careful how long they stick around. kYxY does not have the shapeshift, but Radiant very much lacking a way to find that jump unless it's the Batrider. That's pretty much all they have in the lasso.
Yeah. It's it might seem like panic stations, but it feels to me like the only way Yangon have a way to come back into this is just to turn that Demon Edge into a rapier. You need to be able to attack through this magnetic field, because it feels like they're just not able to do any damage otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's getting to the stage where, well, they won last game with a rapier. Might be getting to dire territory where you're going to pull something out of the hat.
Yeah.
We'll see if Dire have got the numbers advantage to take the fight, though. They're coming over incredibly fast with the Lycan and the Ember. kYxY pops the BKB even with the TP rotation for the Warden. That's the real one. OD's going to get caught out with the crits coming out. His skill label paid the price here. Still stuck up the high ground as well as Zawrain. So 2 down. And with the Underlord gone and the OD down, kYxY, do they want to walk back up?
I feel like it has to be a rapier. Like they just don't have another option, in my opinion. Not while they're getting picked off like this. They know the BKB was used as well here with Orb, so he's going to have to be super careful as well.
Yeah, you see Tops getting shoved in as well from Ghost, and that's a massive wave of the catapult too. Hall's going to try and do as best as he can, but he's going to be careful because the BKB is on cooldown, so if they get one stun into the arrow, you see AlaCrity really trying to punish this.
They got the chains combo off, but just a little bit too far in range for Destrice to round it off with the arrow.
Not a full set of racks just yet. Range racks, unkillable damage at the moment in the mid lane with a 24,000 net worth lead. YxY commits with the MKB though. So unfortunately that Demon Edge not going to get turned into a rapier. This feels like it's a desperation smoke though. Dire about to have everything back up pretty much, at least the important factors. Tempest double in a couple of seconds. Shapeshift is back up and available here. You've got to try and burst someone down with the lasso, and if you don't get that instant pick off, then the team fight is looking very grim. But unfortunately,
it's going to be so much harder now that they've got the Lycans on this Ember Spirit as well.
Well, you're walking up high ground into the Berserker Ward. Medusa multicasted up, and now Hall so much damage as well. He hasn't found the lasso just yet. AlaCrity getting rooted up, but kYxY on the back line will find 2 instant buybacks, but it looks like they want to dip out of the fight here. Zawrain committing the ultimate is 4 staffs away from YxY. It's a lot of damage, so the help of the MKB chunking him down is going to still try and turn for more, but unfortunately now without the rest of the team, YxY to sacrifice. He'll fall. Does not have a buyback. And even kYxY gets a bash as well, and skill 8 outside the base. kYxY Racer are hunting Zawrain. That's an ambitious TP, but he does get it actually.
Just able to
nice
get away.
Little spot there.
Getting a good amount of gold from that team fight was YxY, but still not enough for the buybacks. So they're going to be able to feel somewhat confident as they're pushing into this. At least the tier 3 tower should go down nice and easily.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Just makes it that much easier not having to worry about the constant harass, especially coming up onto your more squishy supports like the Mirana. He's not 100% sure what he wants to go yet. He brought up the medallion, ended up selling it straight away. 8 charges on that Spirit Vessel though.
Sheesh. It's been a good game so far for Destrice. Not going to continue moving that into the later stages here of this second game, but they're just picking them apart right now, making sure they can't completely defend one full set of racks, with top getting pressured by the Lycan, bot getting pressured by the Tempest double and the AlaCrity Ember. And now with the Lycans as well from AlaCrity, it's just going to make it even more difficult. This, you know, only hope they really had was the lasso, and now it's pretty much just a pit into maybe an Earth Splitter with a Stone Gaze, and if they can kill him through that duration. But it's, I'm so surprised you don't have the Rapier queued up. That's the only way they come back.
Oh, now he has.
We haven't seen too many Tempest doubles get fed over as well, which is pretty important with how much gold they can give to the enemy team.
I think Ghost's micro has been, I mean, pretty damn on point, right? Like, the only one that's quote-unquote fed so far is 343, and you could kind of forgive him as an Ogre Magi. You know, you need to fulfill that role of being in there on the front lines to be able to get the stuns off. He's just a little too slow to be able to snipe that ultimate orb that was carrying being carried on the courier for the Underlord. We're seeing, what is this, a Demon Edge being picked up from the secret shop here? The Medusa. It's waiting. It's thinking. And Roche might be up in 1 second. I saw one of the quickest ones I've ever seen before yesterday, but no, it's about a minute away, so medium time.
And even goes back for a BKB on Ember, so just making sure there's absolutely no chance they have to be able to find that connection now. He's got Lycan's BK to be able to protect him. Aghanim's just going to jump the back. It is 100% probability from Dota Plus.
Pretty solid. And Ghost has got his sheepstick once he's done this this camp as well. And he's going to have level 25 soon. You would assume it's the Tempest double duration that he's going to go for. I mean, if he wasn't scary before, what could you do against this?
Yeah, fire out. It's so farmed. Like, it just, they tried to get some deep vision down, you know, like 10 minutes ago or so, but they weren't able to utilize the wards around the triangle. He's yet to die so far in this game from Ghost, and I was questioning whether, you know, how much practice he'd had on the Arc Warden. Oh, it's, at least he's looking strong in this game.
Pubs aren't for nothing. He's been playing a little bit there, but it's certainly still effective. The thing I'm most impressed by, to be honest, is kYxY. You know, he has been this frontline initiator, starting nearly every single team fight, of course, with some assistance from AlaCrity, who's had a good game as well. But kYxY has not died. That is really impressive. I know Lycan's kind of busted right now, but still, considering what you're going up against, lots of burst damage, lots of ways to kind of disrupt you. It's
Who got the axe?
It's kYxY. It could be anything.
True.
It was a
343 got the axe.
Oh, the axe.
Interesting.
Damn. Why not? It's free stun, guaranteed.
Oh, in they go. Shapeshift pop, young PH very far on the front line. AlaCrity going to try and do the back as well. They get rid of the Outworld Devour, so they won't have the Ashes there to protect Medusa, and Medusa gets shredded. Galaxy Racer, no care in the world about the Yangon high ground defense. 2 down, no buybacks available. They might even just dive the throne as well. Punish them. This is a little bit of revenge from losing that mega creep game 1. Really want to put him in the grave.
We're not going to give you the chance. They're pulling back Ghost into the fountain. Probably not even going to be enough.
Double. Oh no. Oh, you hate to see it. Well, that looks like that's all she wrote. I mean, they had an incredible game 1 comeback, but this second game looking no objectives left. Yeah, that's going to be all she wrote here.
Yeah. Easy cleanup for the 48k net worth lead, if you don't mind. They're probably going to get another one here with a few more kills coming through. No, don't hit the ancient, get more kills. It's a pretty dominant performance.
What do we feel like went wrong here for Yangon in this second game?